Great. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Diksha Sethi, and I'm going to be hosting the event for today. Glad to have so many people here, and I'm so happy all of you could take out a little of your time from today and attend this session by this amazing orator today. So over to you, Roy, for the welcome address, and then we shall start.
Good afternoon, guys. I hope you're all doing well and that you're all safe and sound. I'm honored to welcome you all to a webinar hosted by the Rotaract Club of BMS Yelahanka on the topics, the efforts of Rotary International towards the eradication of polio, the 6 areas of focus of the Rotary, and the 8 verticals of Rotary India. To address us on these topics, we have the respected Deputy District Rotaract Representative, Past President Rotaractor Krishna Arjun C.N. To give an insight on our guest, let me yield the floor to our President Gautam Krishna to give a brief.
Good afternoon and all. Let me introduce you all today's speaker. Deputy DRR Past President Rotaractor Krishna Arjun is one of the most experienced Rotaractors of the district. He hails from Rotaract Club of Bangalore Sheshadripuram. At the club level, he has served the post of International Service Director, Vice President, and then was elected as the President of the club during 2017-18. At the district level, he has served as the chair of the mission Teach and Raila. In 2018, he was appointed as the ZRR for the award-winning Zone Emerald. I was part of it then. It got the Best Zone 2018-19 award also. He has been awarded as the Best Rotaractor from both Rotaract District Council as well as Rotary Club of Bangalore. He is an internationally certified table tennis coach and holds a Lifetime Achievement Award for the sport at the state level. His interests include singing, trekking, swimming, photography. An amazing public speaker, he loves anchoring and his favorite audience are kids. He has actively worked on snake and vulture conservation through books, documentaries, and conservation talks. His aim in life is to work towards environmental causes and also take Indian sports to the next level at the international stage. He also consults for CSR initiatives and connecting people with nature. He has also given cameo appearances in Sandalwood movie. Over to you, Krishna Arjun. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Gautam. Thanks a lot. I think that was a surprise. That wasn't part of the agenda. Anyways, a very good afternoon to each and every one of you present here. We have 34 people. That's amazing on a Saturday afternoon. First of all, I would like to congratulate BMS Yelahanka for being a part of the BASIS project hosted by Rotary Yelahanka. And you guys were instrumental in pulling it off because you managed to represent the micro enterprises. You were the voice of the people who couldn't voice out their businesses, and you did a fantastic job. It was brilliant. Yeah, Deepan, you had something? Okay. All right, that might be because of a mistake. Let's continue. So
guys,
congratulations, BMS. Yeah, Deepan, we can hear you. Are you able to hear us? Deepan, are you able to hear us? Okay. Gautam, you can just confirm in between if we are audible and the PPT is visible. I have not shared it yet, but yeah. Yeah. So congratulations on that and all the best for the upcoming fantastic future ahead. Brilliant job so far, and good to see you active even towards the fag end of the year. So
thank you so much.
Now we'll be starting off. Yeah, thank you. We'll be starting off with the presentation. I'll need one of you to quickly confirm if you're able to see it. Yeah, are you able to see it now, Gautam?
Yes, you're visible,
yes.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes,
perfect. Right. So in the poster, when we had shared this poster, it was 6 areas of focus. Now it's 7. And my favorite area of focus, environment, has been included. That's something that gives me great joy because from the very beginning, I felt environment should be a focus area of Rotary. And finally, it has happened. So we're doing it on a auspicious day, I must say. All right, let's start with polio, guys. You guys know that Rotary has been instrumental in the journey towards ending polio, and we have managed to do so. We are very, very close, 99.9% since our first project in Philippines in 1979 has been avoided, but the job is not done yet. Okay, I strongly believe that it's not over until it's over. You might have seen these running races, you might have seen swimming championships where someone relaxes because they're very close and the opponent is far behind. But just by the time they turn, someone would have overtaken them and they wouldn't have realized what hit them. So it's important to see it through. And we might see that Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan is where polio is still remaining. But if we relax, even in our countries, it can come back. So it's very important that we do our bit and create awareness. So you have to make sure you understand how we can contribute. So in my family, a distant relative, they just missed out on getting the polio drops done. And my relative is affected by polio. That's one of the worst feelings you can have. As parents, they will regret it. As the kids, they'll be suffering through the life, right? So as individuals, as Rotractors, what can you do? Before we even reach out to the public, we have to make sure you have any kids in your family, in your relatives, just give them a call on the day of immunization and just tell them that, just inquire if they've already got the drops done. If they haven't, just remind them and they'll love to do it. That will be a nice way to show your concern, and your charity begins at home, right? So you're starting at home. And the next thing you can do is you can get trained on how to immunize people, how to immunize the kids, go through the training program, and on the day of immunization, you can be an active part of it. Even before the immunization day, you can conduct rallies, you can conduct bike rallies, you can conduct walkathons, you can do specific events, you can do online and offline campaigns to make sure people are absolutely aware about the immunization day, and there's no way that they're going to miss it. So these are few ways which I feel will be extremely effective as Rotractors or Rotary, how we can help people realize the importance of immunization, and they don't miss out on the day of immunization. And since the whole world is a playground now, we're all going online and we're going to create maximum awareness. And as this picture says, we are so close to eradicating polio. So let's do it, guys. So that's about the polio segment. Hope you guys learned something from that. Make sure you share your learnings and get people on board. Share the love, share the learnings about polio eradication with your families and friends, and let them also understand the impact that Rotary has generated. And it's not going to be just one disease that we're going to focus on. These are the 6 focus areas of Rotary. Peace and conflict resolution. Of late, I see very few people touch upon this area of focus. Why should we actually work on areas of focus of Rotary? If we do projects related to this, you get the support that you need, you get additional recognition,
Hello,
and it's all
guys.
streamlined. Yes, Deepan. Deepan, we are able to hear you. Okay, Gautam, can you just take it offline with Deepan? Check what's wrong.
Sure, I'll take care of it.
All right. Meanwhile, if anyone had any questions regarding polio, you can keep it till the end, or would you want to do it now, Gautam? We can take one question regarding polio if anyone has. We'll give them 10 seconds. If not, we'll move on to the next.
So I actually do have a doubt. Is the only day of immunization the the day that we have once a year, or is it more frequent than that?
So National Immunization Day will have frequencies. It's not just one day. You'll have a couple of days that you'll be getting this immunization done, but it will be available, guys. This is done majorly to create awareness, and people have to make sure that they get it done. So you can read about it online and then understand how frequently it's happening. And the best thing is you be prepared beforehand. It's not like tomorrow is immunization day, let me do something about it. If we know the exact date, if we know how many times it's happening in the year, we can plan our calendar. And if someone has missed out on the first cycle, they can probably be part of it in the next cycle and make sure they get immunized. We have to make sure that nobody misses out. So that's the takeaway. Does it answer your question? Okay.
Yes, it does.
So
Thank
these
you.
are the six. Cool. Thank you. So these are the 6 areas of focus: peace and conflict resolution, disease prevention, and treatment. So polio is something that we're focusing on. But if something new comes up like COVID-19, we'll jump into action and see what we can do. Right? If you go to the Rotary website, you'll see something happening about COVID. So it's important that we understand what's relevant and we work towards it. And what Rotary International says is, even before we put ourselves in danger, we have to make sure that we keep ourselves safe. And at the same time, how we can support. There will be directives and guidelines. We have to strictly follow that. Otherwise, in the process of helping someone, you're putting yourself and your family in danger as well. So be very sure on what you're doing. Water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development. So these are the 6 areas of focus of Rotary. So when we talk about promoting peace, it might be with respect to uh, having these conversation uh, to understand different cultures, different communities, different countries. You might have had refugees who have fled dangerous areas. So how do you peacefully resolve this conflicts that might come up? Prevention is the best thing. Prevention is better than cure. So how do you promote peace? I see very few projects being done in this focus area. So you have to see how you can actually come up with these initiatives which truly promote peace. So brainstorm with your club members and see how we can do something with that regard. Fighting disease. So as I said, it's not just polio, whether it's HIV, AIDS, or malaria. We see to that we come up with new initiatives which are relevant, have those subject matter experts on board, and curate these best solutions which can be implemented, and the right way to fight diseases. So hopefully something comes out of the COVID-19 as well, and we start doing uh, great efforts towards getting our world back to how it was. Next is providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. So when we say sanitation, people having toilets, they do public defecation, having toilets at their own house, or creating these public toilets so that diseases can be prevented. And simple things as washing hands, it has become so important now. We used to do this WINS program, and we used to go teach kids. Now it's like we have to teach each and everyone, because we are either using sanitizers or we're washing hands regularly, and it's such an important thing to prevent diseases. So clean water, not everyone has access to clean water. We are very blessed to have access to clean water. So there are projects which help purify water which can be consumed by people, and which is basically something that has been extensively done with the help of Rotary. I've seen many schools where they've set up water filters using the grants from RI, the TRF, the Rotary Foundation. So it's a wonderful thing that happens, because we might have heard about a lot of these projects about midday meals and all that, but many of the diseases are caused by water that they consume, and water is used in the food that they make as well. So it's important that they have access to clean water, and these RO plants are set up in schools and in villages and in multiple places. Everyone should have access to clean water and toilets, and they should know what are the basic things that they have to know to maintain hygiene. Saving mothers and children. So you see the stats here. It might be because of malnutrition or poor healthcare, or again inadequate sanitation. Uh, there is health risk for mothers as well as children. So a lot of initiatives have gone into this particular focus area, and I still feel there is scope as Rotractors how we can help. So when we say we have to get involved, it doesn't mean we have to get involved monetarily. It's very important that we understand it very clearly. Rotary doesn't expect us to get money for each and every initiative that we do. We have to be smart. We have access to tech. We can do fundraisers if absolutely required. Otherwise, we know how to get things done at a very low cost or no cost. So we have to be creative in that aspect. and supporting education. I'll be going in detail with respect to this. There are a lot of initiatives that go in to it. There's a Teach program. I'll take you through it in detail later. And growing local economies. So empowering these local economies and understanding what they are good at, creating different opportunities, doing training programs, and basically the focus has been on women entrepreneurs. Like what I said earlier, how BMS Sri Lanka supported the micro enterprises by representing them in this platform called as Basis. Rotary helps these people who cannot help themselves, and ensures there are community leaders who will help the community overall grow economically. So this is the favorite slide of the presentation for me. Yesterday this was announced, and finally the new focus area of environment has been introduced, and Rotary is going to work extensively on this particular focus area. Okay, any questions on the focus areas? We can take 1 or 2 questions. Okay, you have 10 seconds. Gautam, if you see any questions on the chat, you can just read it out for me. I'm not able to see the chat section yet. Okay, we'll wait for another 5 seconds, and if you don't have any questions, we can move forward. If anyone wants to ask a question, you can unmute yourself and ask a question as well.
I think we can move forward.
Perfect. Thank you, Gautam. Okay. All right. So I'm just expanding on the environment bit, and couple of things that can be done in general with respect to projects as well as environment in focus. So now that everything's going to happen online for some time to come, we'll have to optimize this. We'll have to understand how to effectively communicate online and reach out to a wider audience. Now it's not just Rotaractors or our district that is your playground. I say the whole world is your playground. Everyone's watching, everyone's listening to you. So have that branding, have that standard communication, come up with amazing initiatives that brings people together and creates a significant impact. So how you can do this? You can have conferences, quizzes, contests, special days observation. This is one thing that I've been doing as a president, as a ZRR. We used to come up with this calendar and plan our year well in advance. I see many of the presidents doing it now. So basically, plan your year in advance, identify the special days in the year that you would want to observe. The what we've seen is most of them have started creating posters for these special days. Today is Mother's Day, today is Earth Day. So if you could also include an activity, and don't be afraid or don't feel that there are so many activities happening between different clubs. Your target audience is not just Rotaractors. Open it to the public. Create more branding so that more people are aware about what we do, and Rotaract or Rotary as a movement will grow. So special days observations you can definitely do. There are special days that United Nations has recognized. So you can go to the website, understand which are the special days. For example, if we just take World Wildlife Day, if you go to that website, or World Environment Day, you'll be able to go there. You'll be able to find collaterals that you could use for your celebrations. It will also give you ideas of how you can celebrate World Environment Day online or offline. And you can take a couple of ideas, improvise, make it your own, and celebrate it in a very, very big way. That way you'll have a significant impact. And you can also register your event. So the entire world will get visibility to what you're doing. So imagine Rotaract Club of BMS is celebrating Environment Day along with so many other organizations across the world. In fact, there will be a map representation where they say, in India, there are 100 events happening. In Karnataka, there are 3 events happening. In Bangalore, there's only 1 event happening, and that is done by this particular Rotaract Club. So amongst all the other organizations, Rotaract will have its visibility, and you as a club will be able to generate a significant impact. The next thing is awareness talks. It's very important that we create awareness, whether we talk about safety, health, environment. It's very important that talks happen, people get aware, and only when people should also start caring. So first you create the awareness, make people understand the importance of things. Once they start caring for something, then they will protect it, then they'll conserve it. So conservation through conversation is going to be the motto. And campaign against usage of plastic. You can all take a pledge, and you can all come up with alternatives. We already know this. We've been doing this for a few years. We've seen installations where we don't use any plastic bottles, and we try to minimize the usage of single-use plastic, or say absolutely no to single-usage plastic, because we know where it ends up. You just throw it on the road, it rains, the plastic reaches the gutter, then it goes into the drainage, then into a stream, then into a river, then a straw that you have thrown on the road probably ends up in the nostril of a turtle. So you'll never know where it's going to land and how it's going to negatively impact the environment. So make sure you don't use it at all, and choose alternative which are eco-friendly. So we've managed to work in association with Forest Department. So like that, you can have effective collaborations with different NGOs and BBMP or any authority you feel will help you do things at a better scale. And it should be equal contribution with respect to how well you're collaborating and bringing that impact. You should be working towards a common vision. So we managed to work with the Forest Department. Probably in the next slide, I'll take you into the details. Work with Rotary. So now that you also have environment as a focus at the international stage as well as the national stage. National stage, you have 8 verticals. So it'll be very easy for you to do projects in these lines, and you can get the support that you expect. The only thing is you need to have a very good idea. You need to know how to execute it and have that plan, have the pilot ready, and then go to the respective partners, whether it's Rotary or any other NGO. They would love to associate, specifically Rotary, because it has been identified as the areas of focus. And even from the district side or from the RI side, they would have had directives or checklists given to them saying you have to achieve this, you have to do these many projects in this particular focus area. So like that, or this many projects in this vertical. So when you go and pitch projects which are extremely impactful, the Rotary will be more than happy to collaborate with you. So just make sure that you're creative and you show what is that impact that you want to achieve through this, and be very passionate about what you do. So environment, rainwater harvesting, lake rejuvenation, the environmental days, as I was saying earlier, try to observe all this, and it'll help you a lot. We'll take questions after this next slide. I'll just take you through a few things that I've managed to do using Rotaract as a platform with the support of Rotary as well as Rotaract Club and the district members. So the first thing, during my presidential year, we managed to release a book on snake conservation. Snakes are one of the most misunderstood creatures in the world. And there are few venomous snakes, but any snake anyone sees, they're afraid and they want to, as a drastic measure, kill it. So in this initiative, we try to create awareness on which are the venomous snakes, which are the non-venomous snakes, which are dangerous, which are not so dangerous. Irrespective, they have to be treated with respect. You shouldn't go handling a snake. A bite will definitely hurt you, irrespective of whether it's venomous or not. So bring in the expert and try to relocate the snake without hurting it or hurting yourself. So that was a summary of the book, and that book is still available. I can share it with you guys as a PDF if you want to see it. And we did a conservation effort. So this is like one of the kind initiatives where someone was trying to, through the platform of Rotaract, try to create awareness on a species conservation. So snakes were one, and vulture conservation was something that was very close to my heart. So we managed to create a documentary on vulture conservation. There is a chemical that vultures get exposed to because of things we do. Diclofenac is administered to cattle, and it's like crocin for them. As and when you feel the cattle has some issues, you administer diclofenac, and the diclofenac will not come out of the system of the cattle, stay inside the system, and once the cattle dies of natural or unnatural reasons, the system still has it, and when the farmers just keep the carcass away from the village, these vultures come and feed on them, and diclofenac is extremely dangerous for these vultures. They get a condition called as the visceral gout, and they die. It's very similar to kidney stones in humans, and they just die mid-flight. And vultures don't come in. They never used to come in 1 or 2 numbers. They used to come in huge numbers. So if we had 10 carcasses, one carcass has diclofenac, and you have hundreds of vultures feeding on them, hundreds of them die, right? So 99.9% of the vultures are off the face of the earth, and they are the most efficient waste management crew scavengers that we have, and we are losing them out super fast. One of the fastest declining species ever. So decided to do something about it. We managed to create this documentary. We're creating one more in the local language in Kannada as an animation, so that kids of Ramnagar are aware. Ramnagar Ramdev Betta is declared as the vulture sanctuary, first vulture sanctuary in India, and we're trying to create awareness there. Hopefully, we're able to make a significant impact and create safe zones for these vultures for them to thrive. Otherwise, we'll lose out on the species before even we know it. So that was the other initiative. And when I was a ZRR, we also managed to have a conference about vulture conservation in Ramnagar. It was a fantastic day. We saw vultures on the day. There are hardly 3 or 4 in Ramnagar now, and we were very lucky to sight them on this special day. And we went for a trek. We also learned making posters on Canva, and we had a contest on vulture conservation again. So a lot of learning, and that's the best way you can do things. You have to combine learning, you have to make it fun, you have to go out, take people out, make them realize the importance of environment, and when they really care about it, that's when they start conserving things. So that's very important. And I'd like to thank Ramnagar Rotary Club of Shantiniketan for hosting us during the conference. And let me tell you about the World Wildlife Day and International Tigers Day. So if you don't contact people, you'll never know. You might have missed out on an opportunity. So I just called the RFO of Banerghatta and told him, it was just a couple of days before International Tigers Day. So I just call him and tell him, sir, International Tigers Day is coming up. Are you planning anything? We would love to come and attend. So he's like, oh, is it International Tigers Day? Oh, okay. It must have slipped my mind. We're not doing anything, but if you guys want to do, we are okay to collaborate. So it's like, okay, next 5 minutes, I create a poster. I give the complete agenda. What are the things we're expecting from our end, and how we would want to run the show. And the next 5 minutes after I send, he gets the approval from his higher ups, and the event was finalized. We got free safari on that day. We had interaction with IFS officers, forest officials, and we also got free entry into the zoo. There was a PVR sort of a theater where we were given access to documentaries, and we had a gala time. We also made poster making contest and green hackathons. So that was start of something amazing. From past 2-3 years, we've been doing this now, and World Wildlife Day, International Tigers Day, we try to go there and create events for them, and we have a successful collaboration. We've also managed to donate waterproof bags as well as metal bottles to the forest guards who keep going around. They keep roaming the forest to make sure there's no poaching activities, and they safeguard the forest as well as the wild animals there. So that was something that we did. And the final thing was coming up with a name for the year, Team Panthers. When I and Shashi were discussing about the name for the team, we really felt we should go with the name of an animal. And we were discussing this when we were finalizing the Vulture Day conservation effort. And we were in Ramnagar when we finalized this, and Shashi told me it was fine. He was okay with it. So one animal which I felt would resonate with our DRR was the panther, and we went with Team Panthers. We also had the Black Panther movie released at around the same time, and it all fell in one place. And Team Panthers have managed to have a fantastic year so far. Couple of days more to go. And just having the name is not sufficient. I really felt we should do something about it. A leopard is nothing but a panther. So we adopted a leopard named Apsara during our Wild Blues or World Wildlife Day celebration in association with Bannerghatta National Park and Biological Park. And we managed to adopt this beautiful leopard or panther called Apsara. So that is one more achievement that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And the district loves that initiative. We finally got the picture of the leopard as well. So at this juncture, we can quickly take questions. This is something that I'm very passionate about. And if you are also sharing passion towards environment, you have to think about initiatives like this and make it creative and collaborate and make sure you take it to the next level. I know as of now, you're all stuck at home and most of you are finding it difficult to even come out of your house. But when things clear up, we should all see what can be done to conserve nature and help wild animals coexist with us and support them. We shouldn't cause problems to anything in the world, and least probably have the least carbon footprint as much as possible. So at this point, we can take a few questions. If anyone wants to unmute or use the chat section, Gautam, if you could help me.
Sure, if anyone sends in the chat, I'll read it out.
Sure. We'll wait for 10 seconds. If anyone has any questions, please do let me know. Okay, Gautam. I think no one's unmuting. Everyone's clear. We can move on. Either
Yes.
everyone's understanding or they're feeling bored. I don't know what's happening. So you have to tell me. We'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so I was heading the CSR efforts for one of the NGOs and the foundation, and that was working predominantly on these lines, at least few of these. So teacher support. This is the RILM, right? Rotary India Literacy Mission. And like this, we have 8 missions. These are the 8 verticals. Individually, you have verticals in each of these as well. So they just try to use the abbreviation. TEACH is the name of the program, and it's internationally approved. After polio, this is the most sought after project or initiative from Rotary International. Teacher support is nothing but teacher training. Everything's going online. You have to see how you can help teachers effectively communicate as well as teach the kids. You have to do teacher training programs specifically to help them customize to the technology. And even if they were doing it offline, we had to see how to optimize the process. Generations change, right? So you have to adapt and continuously evolve. So teachers training becomes extremely important, because if the foundation is weak, then we can't construct something big on it. So that was the teachers support. E-learning has been something that I've been closely associated with. I was heading the initiative, as I said. We used to approve these projects. We used to co-fund, and we used to give these e-Shala kits, and we were doing it in partnership with a solar company called Celco, and they used to be our implementation partners, and we had a knowledge partner called a CLT. So we used to give these content. We used to give a TV, a smart TV with the content, the device, and a remote, and the teachers had to use it, showcase the content as a supportive element along with their teaching. So they can either use the board and explain a concept and then show the video, or complete the lesson and show the video. Kids will be able to understand and things will register better. Just because of this initiative, this was mainly in government schools. Just because of this initiative, we saw many kids who had joined the private school come back to the government schools, and the schools which were almost about to close down because they had just 2-3 kids came back to full glory, and we had hundreds of students joining the school back. And we saw the pronunciation of the teacher as well as kids improve, right? We had seen if the teacher, we've seen many videos where teachers are pronouncing something wrong and the kids continue to pronounce those words that way, and that will remain for the rest of the life. It's very difficult for them to change. So this was addressing that issue as well. And the quality of education. There are parents who are ready to even sacrifice their one day meal or one meal in a day, just to make sure they get quality education for their kids. So that was something that was bothering them. They had to sacrifice. But once e-learning was available in government schools, the parents were rest assured, and they got the kids back to the government schools. And that's how powerful this e-learning program is, apart from the midday meals and so many other schemes that government gets into it. And Rotary has played a very important role in these programs. Adult literacy is adults do feel left out. They're dependent, and they're not even able to read newspapers. If they go to the bank, they're in fact, we are also sometimes dependent in the banks, but adults are not sure about what they're signing. It's probably easy to cheat them. So to avoid all that and to make them independent and to make them stand on their own feet, adult literacy was one more initiative that was taken up. And it's basic understanding of reading and writing in the local language and English, Kannada and English, and that has also been a significant impact. We've seen case studies where the spouse has started respecting the husband more, and there are also scenarios where it has transformed someone's life because of adult literacy. They've got employment opportunities and many more success stories. So adult literacy is something that we could do, and each one teach one should be the model. If the kid is taught something, you ask the kid to go teach the same concept to their parents, and it will be a very good bonding opportunity as well for them. So it can be again run through online initiatives. TCS has developed the content which is available. You can use that and make sure you create a significant impact in this. Children's development, we all know it's extremely important. We have to see what is relevant as of now, come up with these concepts and help children develop and support them in their creativity. Happy schools are schools which have the basic necessities and are happy places for kids to come. If the school looks very dull and the paint is bad, the benches are broken, the students might not want to come to school, right? So you're making these happy places so that it's a holistic solution. You're making sure the teachers are good. You're making sure you have something attractive and informative. In fact, e-learning is very effective because many schools, they don't even have these science equipments. You can't explain to them how an experiment works, what is the reaction and all that. Through e-learning, using the content on the platform, you can just show them, if you add this to this, this is what happens, and it gets registered. We've seen the percentage of kids also go up because of this, and happy schools will add to the entire solution. It's a holistic solution. Each and everything is related. If the parents are educated, they understand the importance of education, and they can also support the children get educated better. So this is one of the most important visions as well as missions of Rotary, and we can easily support them in this because it's all going to be online mostly, and we have to see how creatively we can involve, collaborate, and make a significant impact in this. Okay, RIWM is the water mission, and watershed development. They've just come with abbreviation. Watershed development are like check dams. You'll see water just run away, but if you're keeping water stocked up in a place, it'll be very useful in summer times. And awareness is the key. Every drop counts. Don't waste water at home. Do not do anything silly, and you have to walk the talk as well. So create awareness as much as possible, and transformation of water bodies. You might have seen these lakes which used to look so dull, now has been transformed. You used to see these lakes which were not holding much water. You've seen them being rejuvenated. So see how you can contribute to those efforts. It'll be very significant, and you can contribute in different ways. As I said, money is not the thing that we're going to focus on. We have to see what are the other things we can bring to the table to have a successful collaboration. So money would be the last thing, because others will have money, but they'll not have what you have. So utilize your creativity, utilize your network connectivity, give them the solution, and get the funding later on. from the respective collaborators. The next one is efficient use of water. So we have to know how to use this efficiently. We've heard the speeches of Anand sir, who's a lake rejuvenation expert, and we also had a opportunity to interact with the Rain Man, Shivkumar sir, and he's given fantastic examples on how we can use water very effectively. And rainwater harvesting is something that he specializes in. And yes, it's very important that we recharge the water table and see how we can conserve water. Do rainwater harvesting irrespective of where you are. It might be as simple as keeping a bucket when it rains and using that water for something, to coming up with creative ways to direct all the water to a place and use it when it's required. So this is about water conservation. I'll not be going into in detail into other things. I'll just talk about disaster management. There are 3 R's: rescue, relief, and rehabilitation. Rescue, we're not going to get into that. Rotary prescribes us not to get into this because we are not trained, we are not equipped. This is generally done by the National Disaster Management Authority. You'll have Indian military or paramilitary forces. So if as soon as you hear there's going to be there's floods happening somewhere, don't think that you'll be going there to rescue people. That's not your priority. The way you'll be engaging is either in the relief work or in the rehabilitation. So the main reason why rescue is out of scope is you're not trained and you're putting yourself in danger. And if you also end up being in danger, the person who's going to come and rescue, whether it's the military or paramilitary, instead of rescuing one person, they'll have to rescue 2 or 3 people. So it's advised that you stay out of the rescue bit. Facilitate rescue by getting in touch with the right authorities and making them come there and acting upon it. But do not get into rescue operations directly if you're not trained and if you don't know how to do it. A simple, I'll give you a basic example. Someone has a simple injury. You say, I know how to fix it, and you come and break it. A simple fracture becomes a complicated fracture because of our overconfidence. So don't make situations complex. If it's a simple thing, if you know how to handle it, you handle it. If you're equipped to handle it, you handle it. Otherwise, stay out of the rescue as much as possible. Don't put yourself or anyone else in danger. So relief, this shelter kit that Rotary prescribes, I don't remember the exact amount, but it costs around 7,500 or so. I'll give you the exact figure, Gautam, later. But these are the basic things that would be required for people to survive for some time. And you'll have this box, you'll have basic food items, you'll have these utensils, tarpaulins, mosquito nets, bed sheets, blankets, and many more things. So this will be a suitcase sort of a thing which will be kept in critical places. The nearest place where this is stored is in Belgaum, with multiple cases, and this shelter kit will be transported to places where some sort of a calamity happens. And Belgaum, strategically, they feel is an area where that side of the country, close to Bangalore or in Karnataka, is prone to more problems. So that's where they housed it. But DG believes that we should have more shelter kits, and DG feels we can house in one of the places in Bangalore as well. So let's see how that works out. But that would be a brilliant thing to have so that we can support people. And you might have seen the video of what happened in Kengeri 2 days back when it rained heavily. So that we've seen videos like that earlier in different countries or in North India, where the road breaks off and chips off, and rivers are going in full glory. Now the drainage is River Vrishabhavati, now transformed into a drainage system, has managed to do that. Cars floating and all that. So yeah, we have to be ready and be prepared. That's the motto. So rehabilitation is building homes, rebuilding of schools and others, helping raise funds for this, and also identifying the beneficiaries and creating a report and submitting to people who are willing to contribute will bridge the gap. So that's where we come in. We have to create awareness about these problems and the probable beneficiaries, as well as people who are willing to help. So if we bridge the gap, that's still a major success as Rotractors, how we can do things. So the next two things that we have to know, next two verticals are preventive and curative health. So prevention is better than cure, and you can see the list of diseases that can be prevented just by following the right diet, making sure you don't do regular exercise and meditation and all that. Immunization, we already know. This is about the preventive health. As I said, prevention is better than cure, and both come under the positive health uh, main heading. Preventive health and curative health are the two subheadings. That's why it comes to 8 verticals instead of 7 verticals. So curative health is having these blood banks, eye hospitals, mobile clinics, skin banks, hospital equipments, health camps, and dialysis centers. All this will be supporting the curative bit of it. And we can we've seen Rotractors doing blood donation camps, tie up with these blood banks, and do it in a big way. Nowadays, there's a major shortage of blood because people are very concerned about their health. What if I get corona if I go and donate blood? That's the mindset that people have. So you have to create that safe environment and create awareness that the facilities have been equipped correctly, and like how Danis said of late has been showing that many of these places, Uber or Empire Hotel or whatever it is safe and they're well equipped. Like that, if we could do campaigns on how clean and effectively the maintenance of blood banks are happening, people would be willing to come forward and donate. Like that, these different places, organ donation registry, all these things are few things that we can be a part of. Health camps are also going to be on the very low. People are concerned to come out, and even whatever they do, they'll have to make sure that they follow the regulations. So it'll all be done in small scales. So see how well you can collaborate with organizations, how you can do these projects offline without putting yourselves in danger. And whether it's plantation, whether it's health camps, please do not put yourself in danger. You might feel I'm youthful, I'm young, I'm not going to be affected by corona. But even if you don't get affected, when you come back home, you're putting your parents or grandparents in danger. So that's something that we always have to keep in mind. So these are the 7 + 1 vertical. The preventive and curative are considered as 2. Then it's 8. We managed to do the literacy bit. The sanitation will be again on having toilets and wash in schools will be the focus. Water mission we already saw, and health, curative and preventive we understood. Environment mission, we now know what are the things we could do and help in this particular vertical. Disaster management, we saw how we can associate. CSR is collaborating with these CSR. Every company has a CSR wing, or they have CSR funds allocated. So you'll have to tap into that. Before that, you have to make sure that you have done a pilot of your project. You clearly know what you're doing. You have to be passionate about it. You understand what are the requirements to have a collaboration for CSR grants or the Rotary Foundation grants. And if it's at a very high level, then Rotary India will come into picture. If it's small time CSR initiative collaborations, then you can do it directly as Rotract or through your Rotary. So understand what are the prerequisites and help them do the collaboration successfully. There'll be documentation, there'll be finance related MOUs, and you'll also need ATGs and other requisites will be there. So clearly understand. And one major thing that we always have to remember is every company that's doing their CSR will have their own focus area. someone wants to do something in sports, someone wants to do something in health, someone wants to do something in education. So if you have an interest to do something in education, you clearly know what the project is about. You can't go to a company who's interested in sports, right? You have to go to the company who's really interested in your area of focus, so that alignment happens and they'll be interested to collaborate, and then you can take things forward. Keep the Rotary clubs in loop so that they can help, and they can also get you other CSR funds, and that's about it. So as I just conclusion, these are the verticals from Rotary India. You earlier saw the areas of focus, 7 now from Rotary International, and we've seen what we've done in polio and what we can do in the near future. But things are going online, guys, whether it's meetings, DOVs, awareness programs, webinars, conferences, everything's going online. We have to make sure that we keep ourselves safe and come up with effective programs online, have meaningful collaborations so that you reach out to more people. At the same time, you create a significant impact. So with that, I come to the end of the presentation. If we have any questions, we can quickly take them. Please do share them. Would love to interact with you guys. I know it's been more of a monologue. Now is the time to interact, whether you have an idea, you have something that you're really passionate about, you share a common passion. We can just quickly discuss and see how we can make things happen.
Okay, so I have a question for you. This may not be related
Diksha.
to what you spoke about just now, but from your presentation, I really got that you really think out of the box. So how do you manage to do that? What drives you to think out of the box?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question, Diksha. So thinking out of the box, or sometimes inside the box, is if everyone's thinking out of the box, you have to think inside the box. So what you have to create your own niche is what I believe in. If everyone's doing blood donation projects, if everyone's doing health camps, that work is already happening. So what is that you bring to the table? How different are you creating a significant impact? How differently are you doing that? So that was the question that I had in mind before I started doing my project. So I always wanted to see how differently and how impactfully things can be done. And I have other initiatives that I've started. Very few I was able to cover, but you've seen few of the things that I'm really passionate about. But I strongly believe in creativity and constant innovation. Even if you're doing the same project next year, you should have a 2.0 which has transformed and evolved. It shouldn't be the replication of the same thing that you have done. So that is something that I strongly believe in.
Okay, that's great. Also, I invited all the president-elects and their board designates to this meeting, so you could tell them a little about leadership. So is there some piece of tips or information you'd like to give them for the coming year as leaders?
Fantastic. So yes, future leaders, remember that you have a brilliant leadership at the district level with the DRRE Rajwamshi, and you just have to follow his lead, and you'll be doing extremely well as a club. But individually, as a club, I would request and urge you guys to align with the calendar. Create a calendar for yourself and see if you can align few of these initiatives with respect to the United Nations special days, and automatically you're scaling your projects and ideas to the next level. And always believe in inclusive way of running the club. Don't just feel that I'm the president, I'm the supremacy, or we are the board, we are not going to listen to anyone. Don't have that in mind. You never know where the next best creative idea is going to come from. So be open for suggestions, consider it, understand their side of the story, and try to evaluate and see what is the best thing that can happen for the club. And then you can really look at projects which are accepted by the club. First of all, everyone comes forward to support it, and then you see that natural transformation where everyone's welcoming it in the district as public, and you have a successful initiative that will run for many years. So don't just think small and restrict your target audience to Rotract. As I said, the whole world is your playground. So think big, guys. Dream big and make things happen.
So this is not related to whatever you just presented, but can we ever visit Apsara?
That's a good question. Bannerghatta Biological Park is open. So, as and when you feel it's the right time to go, Apsara is not going to go anywhere. So, Apsara is going to be there. She's 9 years old and very healthy. And we wish to see her very soon live. But we do have the picture of Apsara. I'll just see if I can pull it up quickly. Probably in the next 1 or 2 minutes, I'll show you the real photo of Apsara. So yeah, we can definitely go and visit Gautam. You tell me when you want to go, I'll also come.
Sure, we'll go together.
I'm in for this too.
Yes. Brilliant. Okay, I think I
Okay,
have
go
a
ahead.
picture of Apsara.
Roy, you can go ahead after this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tell me if you're able to. Yes, this is Apsara, guys. Say hello. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
we can.
They've named it aptly, no? The name suits. Okay. Yes, we can all go together and say hi to Apsara personally. Yeah, you had a question.
Yeah, so my question was about something I'm pretty invested in, which is the organ donation camp. So I wanted to actually know about what the already existing, I guess, plans, missions, whatever, in terms of organ donation are, and if there aren't any, if you know what the process of signing up as an organ donor would be.
Okay, so what I did in my ZRR tenure was again that was a special day. There was a World Organ Donation Day, so I arranged for a speaker who's a specialist when it comes to organ donation. He in fact has been a recipient of an organ from his brother, so that's where he started. His name is Anil Srivastava. He's a Rotarian, and he spreads the word across the world through his campaign on organ donation. So he would be a fantastic speaker who could guide us and take it to the next level, have many people register, and a significant impact comes out of it. So you let me know when, you just see when organ donation day is, and when you would want him to come as a speaker, and I'll make it happen.
Okay, let's wait another 10 seconds for more questions and then we'll move on to the vote of thanks.
Sure. Okay, we have Ravi Chandra with us. Ravi, do you want to share your thoughts on the entire thing? Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Krishna.
Yeah, Ravi.
I'm glad that I'm here. Sorry for joining late, but it was wonderful joining. The last part was really good, and a nice name of leopard, Apsara. I think I missed the presentation.
That's okay, Ravi. So we didn't name Apsara. We just there were 3 leopards that we could choose from, and we managed to choose Apsara as our mascot, and we managed to. I mean, that has been something very close to my heart. So thank you, Ravi, for sharing.
What is the name of this? You, I think, adopted this one, right? Panther for this year.
Yeah, that is Apsara. So a leopard's family name is Panthera pardus. Okay, so you guys have seen few Black Panther images from I think it's from Kabini. Okay, so what happens is a leopard is supposed to be looking like Apsara. If you see a black panther, that's because of a deformity or skin related issue. There is less melanin, and that's why it appears like that. But if you clearly go closer to the leopard or see it up front, you'll see those marks. It's called rosettes. Okay, those marks you'll be able to clearly see, and it's not actually completely black. So those rosettes are there, but it's just that the fur appears completely black. So it's the same species, just with some skin issues. That's all. But it looks magnificent. The black leopards or black panthers look magnificent.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Krishna.
No problem.
Okay, great. If there's anybody in the audience who would like to share their views on what Sir spoke about, then the floor is free for you. Anybody, you can unmute yourself and start speaking right now. Seems like we're done. So I'd like to pass it over to Prerna Kulkarni, our secretary, to give the vote of thanks. And from my side, thank you so much for this event, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Diksha.
Hi everyone, hope you like the session. I'm Prerna, the secretary of RCBMSY. Yes, I am a bit emotional because this is the last vote of thanks for the event as in my tenure as a secretary. I would like to thank Rotaractor Krishna Arjun for addressing us today. Thank you for accepting our invitation on such a short notice and dedicating an hour of your day into this session. Listening to a great orator like you has always been a privilege. We, as a part of Rotary International, have had a very insightful session receiving the knowledge you transferred during your talk. We are grateful for all the suggestions and ideas you gave about event organization and leadership for the upcoming boards. We'll definitely work on it, sir. And moreover, we would like to thank you for introducing us to Leopard Apsara. From bottom of our hearts, thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to extend my thank to the faculty coordinator of RCBMSY, Tejaswini ma'am, for supporting us and attending this session in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you, ma'am. I would also love to thank my board for spontaneously working on this event and bringing out such an amazing participation. The members of RCBMSY have been extremely supportive with regard to this session. Thank you all the members. It's been an honor to have Rotaractors from various different clubs to attend this session. Thanks to each one of you for giving us an hour from your schedules. Lastly, I may end with one thanks which I've been missing out here. Thank you for listening to me patiently. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello. It was a very good talk, sir. I could join just after 10-15 minutes. So I think I missed those few minutes, but I'll take the recording of this. It was a good one to have you here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Okay. I hope all the the new members will get motivated with your your plan or whatever. You motivated them to have their own calendar and work accordingly. That's very important because most of the times we miss out. Like, after certain days are being celebrated, we think of, oh, we forgot about this day being celebrated. So I think that is very important. And our team is doing pretty well. I am sure the next team will also take it to the higher heights.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those words. I think the motto should be no regrets. We have to go all out. And Prerna, tell me this. Are you satisfied with your year as a president?
I was a secretary, yes. I mean,
Okay, I'm sorry, secretary. And Gautam,
yeah.
it's for Gautam and you. So as the top two people from the club, are you guys happy or satisfied with the year?
First of all, when I became the president, all I wanted to do was to build a well-functioning club, and I think it's more than what I wanted to happen, and I can't be more satisfied than this.
Perfect. So yes, you guys had COVID coming in midway, and you still managed to pull off a fantastic year. So you don't have any regrets, and that's one major takeaway. So go all out, guys. Don't. You have only one presidential year, right? So you have to make sure whatever you wanted to do, you had to do it in that year. And whoever has taken any board role, you have to make give justice to that particular role in that year itself. So no regrets. Go all out and make every day and every minute count. Balance your academics well, and utilize this platform to groom yourself as an individual and help the society in the progress. Progress and process, two things that we have to always remember. Thank you, Gautam. Thank you, Prerna.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Diksha. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for patiently hearing to me. It was lovely interacting with you all. You can reach out to me at any given point of time. Any suggestions, any ideas that you want to ponder over. Would love to interact and help you make your dreams come true. Whether it's your passion, your profession, your projects, would love to help you in any way possible. Thank you again. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.